Hello adventurers, this is Zexty, and this will be a quick video series over the new stories for the Everfrost region. So, if you were kind of speeding through this or you rushed through it where you didn't actually get a chance to read the story or like follow along, this will be a good chance to watch it. And then also, if you're new and you haven't actually like done the story, you can follow along with this. But for the most part, these stories are very straightforward. All you'll have to do is just auto path to the next step. And like there's very little involvement, but I will be trying to give you as much commentary as I can and then also reading through the story with you, so hopefully that'll help and it'll give you some value. But basically, to start this, come to the city Duvenkroon, I hope I said that right, and then talk to that young lad Rinta. And then from there you'll pretty much just auto path. Anytime that I'm like auto pathing or doing nothing in the background, I will try to skip through it until I get to the next person that I need to talk to. Okay, so basically the Holy Flame Enix comes from the Mountain of Eternal Winter. There was an explosion and someone did it basically to get their hands on the Enix. They are placing the Enix in our hands, so I guess we're taking charge of this to make sure that nothing goes wrong. But basically, just follow the story, click this. The Black Spirit will have some speculations. He thinks it's this woman on the screen. He's giving us a backstory for what she did in the past. However, we don't actually know. So, this guy here is telling us that a high priestess had a dream before the explosion, so he wants us to go talk to that old lady. So with this, it actually says that we started our adventure. We can actually go to the Mountain of Eternal Winter, and then it says that we can start the story. However, we've already started the story, so we'll go ahead and just move on to the next step. Alright, so we're now in the Everfrost region. So this is basically just where the auto-pathing took us. And then now we're looking for Nana Margot. And somehow we're speaking to her telepathically. So let's go run over to her and get some tea. So now that we're actually next to Nana Margot, the quest actually wants us to drink some citron tea, so I believe she's going to give us some here. But then also, what you can do is, like, click that little drop of water that's up in the top left corner, and then you can do this, or you can do it through this quest, and then just click the tea, and this will complete that quest. While I'm at it, I'm just going to get my purified water as well for the desert. I actually ended up getting a little bit sidetracked here, so I'm now in a different region. But if you were to like get lost, or if you stop doing the quest and somehow you can't get back to it, just go back to the story menu and then go to that story that we're in progress on and then accept the next part, and then it should auto path you to the next thing. But I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward until we're to the next part. So now that we're here at the altar, this is basically where she says that she saw the vision of us protecting the Enix, the Holy Flame. So, yeah. And then here's another short little story.
The 6 witches that bloomed from Labresca's demise protected us from fearsome dragons and their fire. However, as flowers must wilt and fade, the witches, sought a warrior of winter before they too would need retire. O warrior who shall best the witch's trials to stand atop the frosty peaks, bear great Labresca's treasure, the abyssal flames of Yenix which consumed even the gods, and confront the darkness. Come to the haven of slumbering origin at the mountain of eternal winter.
Okay, lady, that was super dramatic, but super cool. But basically she says Labresca ties all of them together. So we'll just continue these 6 witches trials and continue auto-pathing on the quest. So here we basically checked the recruitment board, and then we found a job. We're meeting the client, and my cutscene's a little bit weird here. You're supposed to be able to see Lando, but he's invisible, so just kind of keep that in mind. And then Lando is going to be our client, so we'll hear out his request and then take care of it for him. Alright, so that's Lando, and then, again, it was kind of weird the way he was not visible, and then a whole bunch of Landos were visible, but let's go ahead and start his quest. Okay, so we've unlocked this broken winter altar. These altars are going to be super important for unlocking the map later on, and then also just for transportation. There is currently an event going on where it's like share your strategy for how you're going to tackle the Everfrost region. I'll be making a video separate from that and kind of going over the order that you should do the stories, how you should be collecting the knowledge in the area, how you should be attacking these monsters, but that'll all be separate from here. I do stop a couple of times during this quest just to like do these different things, but I wanted to say this before we got too far into the video, and I probably should have said this at the beginning, but yeah, hopefully it helps. And then also we're just going to keep continuing the auto quest, so currently I'm pathing to the next place. So here Jordine makes his appearance, and we'll pretty much find out what he's doing here and what he needs. So basically, if you don't know this, Jordine has the Lord of Darkness within him, and he's looking for the Enix so that way he can destroy what's within him once and for all. So basically, once he's done with it, he has no use for the Enix. After that, he's just wanting to get rid of him. And then also he knows Lando because he was already on the search for him, and then he kind of disses Lando, saying he's just as clueless as the rest of us. So that doesn't bode well. So here I do make a quick stop just to attack these monsters. I kind of wanted to get a feel for how quickly you could get the knowledge, and then also like what their HP is, what their DP is, how quickly I kill them. So you don't actually have to do this. Anytime I do this, I'll pretty much skip through it from now on, but I just kind of wanted to let you know that while you're doing this story, you can always attack these monsters on the route and then get their knowledge while you're at it. I don't always recommend that just because it takes kind of a lot of water to get the full knowledge, and then if you were to do this story, you'll end up with a lot of water to work with later on anyways, so you can always come back, but just wanted to give you that heads up. Something else I did want to say was that while you're doing this and while you're traveling, anytime that you have that little notification that there's an excavation nearby, go ahead and go pick that up, just because for your collection log, you'll need to be getting a lot of excavations done anyways, and the most important ones are going to be like those orange colored excavations. So anytime you see that, just go do it really quickly. It's not that hard, it's not that difficult, just as long as like it's not in the middle of a bunch of monsters that are higher CP than you. But again, just keep that in mind, and then I'll be skipping through this from now on as well. Alright, so we're at the Altar Road. Basically, you could have just autopathed here from the beginning, so just kind of keep that in mind. You didn't have to make those stops that I did, but I do still recommend stopping to do Excavation, and let's continue auto-questing. Alright, so basically we were looking for some mysterious people. Now we're moving on to the next camp. So this is going to be the first of many of these mini missions. It won't really just be for this one story, it'll be for all 5 of these stories, but for some reason every time I load into like a new one of these maps, it doesn't start out with the snow. It starts out like just normal texture, normal everything, and then it kind of just throws the snow on top of it. So sorry if it looks a little visually jarring at first, but hopefully we'll get used to it. So here we just found out that Lando is the successor of the Everfrost demi-beast representative. So this is the altar of the first person to climb the mountain, Muhad Valax. And basically, if we don't pray to this, we won't get through this. So, yeah, we had to do that. Okay, so this guy just told us a little bit more about the 6 witches, and apparently it all came from Libresca, who was hunting her own kind, and she had the Enix, which is the Holy Flame. But this guy said that there were 7 lives, so that's a little bit confusing. Maybe Lando's hiding something, but it's getting kind of interesting. So now we will be starting these witches' trials. According to that guy, he thinks that the witches left it for us to prepare us for times like this. So Noel, the first of the Hawk Albits, and sorry if I butcher this story wrong, basically they had come to Marsh's swamp and like they were being invaded or something after Marsh's death. He saw like a seed in the ground, so he went and tiptoed around and got the seed and planted it. And I think that where we're about to head to is to where he had planted that seed. And then here we're picking up our companion for this trial, and our companion's gonna be a hawk. Alright, so here's where we're gonna enter the first witch's trial. There's gonna be a little cutscene, and then I'll explain at the end what to do. So now that we're in here, we basically just need to move to this pillar of light, but we need to stay away from these monsters, so we need to avoid detection. If you're close enough to some of them, you'll actually be able to see like where their detection range is. So this one that's roaming by, you can kind of see he has like a quarter of a circle in front of him, I guess. But just kind of follow the path that I'm going through, and you'll pretty much get there with no problems. It's not too hard. Just stay close to the edge near the trees and loop around some of these monsters, and it should be as simple as that. So hopefully this helps. So with that trial done, that's actually pretty much going to be the end of the story. You'll just have to auto path to this next location, and then the trial will be over. So that's the first story. As I said before, I will be making videos for each of these different stories. So let me know what you thought about this video down in the comments below. And then as always, please like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate your support. But until then, I'll see you next time.